April had finally arrived in our little town. It wouldn't be the last we'd see of snow, but there were a few choice days that felt like spring. And as far as trout and coffee goes, things were beautiful. The lockdown gave me time to catch up, and my dreams were now closer than ever. One day, my mom asked if I wanted to go fishing. It would be the first time on the water this year. She was going to use worms and a spinning rod, and I'd use my fly rod, but if that didn't work, I'd try with the worms too. I grew up digging worms out of the garden and pulling trout in right in front of the house. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't my favorite way to fish. It was still kind of cold and there wasn't that many worms, but we managed to find some with the help of Hooter and Danko. We were gonna try a few local spots that always seem to have fish. And I don't think I've ever been to any of them with my mom. Not since I was little, at least. So it was really nice to get out there with her. I tried a few casts with the woolly booger and, well, ended up switching to worms and hooked one within a few casts. First trout of the year. A nice little rainbow. I put him back and we tried a few more spots, but that was the only fish we ended up with that day. And my mom said something cool while she was sitting there watching me cast. "It's just so nice to be out on the river." And I smiled. That's really what it's all about anyway. So the hills were still pretty bare, but there were buds showing up here and there. Usually I blink and the hills are green, so this was a nice change of pace. And then one day I took my truck out for a drive before dinner when it started raining like crazy. And then this happened. Boom! Lightning strike, 200 yards away. I've never been this close to lightning. I could feel it in my chest. My heart was thumping. I could feel the power and the energy of it. It was surreal. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had an experience with lightning. I'm curious if any of you have ever felt this sensation. And so the little adventures continued, and I showed up at Mason's spot on many occasions. We got a few little Johnson that really reminded me of being a kid in the Berkshires. The snow was mostly melted, but some nights we'd wake up with a fresh coat.
Won't be long till it's all gone. A snow?
Nope. Really good. We was coming down hard. Oh my god, it came in this way?
Yeah.
Snowbank. I knew it was soft.
Yeah.
So I like crawled up to it. Across and then I blew through it.
Right through the heart of it?
Right through the heart.
and Mason's little projects continued. He's always got something going.
So these are what we store the drivers for the headphones.
Yeah.
They come from the factory like that. And they were being stored on cardboard boxes. But now,
Oh, cool.
they fit right here.
Wow. It's clean.
Right next to the
I can't explain how good these spontaneous little jaunts feel. Even if I fell in the water while climbing the slog, one thing's for sure. An ice cold stream will remind you you're alive.
That's the hardest part.
Growing up in these hills shaped who we are. Climbing things, testing limits, making magic out of the mundane. Our parents always told us, go play outside. And our imagination was shaped by these forests.
Wow. Didn't even have to crawl.
And these muddy spring back roads, they make my heart ache with joy. So all the old paint was off the van, and it turns out it was in worse shape than we expected. A lot of the panels will need to be replaced, but progress is being made. And Noah and I put some final touches on local client videos, and then one day, magic happened. The owner of a local coffee company walked in my office door. He said they wanted to work with me. It's been a dream of mine to work with a coffee company, and I've held off because I wanted it to be the right one. These guys are not only local, but they're the most passionate and the absolute best. And we're going to be making a private label trout and coffee blend. More on that soon. And then I got a pair of jeans hand-painted by a girl named Rose. I found her work on Visco and reached out because I was awestruck. You can message her on Instagram if you'd like your jeans painted. Artists like this deserve to be known. I can't wait to wear these all summer.
wanted to give you a heads up.
Eat it unfrozen.
Dude, we're going out there. Fires and
Like every weekend, I want to cook dinner out there.
Right?
And on the way to the cabin one day, Mason and I made a pit stop at the Dreaming Tree. This place is sacred. Just the ultimate spot for reflection.
Yep. Wow.
look at the buds. Look at these red.
Yeah. They're ready. They're ready to pop. Won't be long.
And then one day when we were working, we heard a small plane fly overhead and realized that we haven't been up in the sky since early December 2019. I hope we're able to do that this summer. Plane rides and riverside renovations.
Oh,
What about it?
you've done it?
No, this is actually a good one for it, you know? You can really steer it. You can like see where we're going.
You just walk your truck?
It's like walking a horse. Come on, buddy.
Come on.
No problem. It's better view, and you can be immersed in your environment while still hauling trash.
I don't know. Do you think this is appropriate beyond the sticks, the Shire?
I would recommend everybody give this a try.
And we got our first dip of the year in. I gotta tell you, if you ever feel down or groggy or unhealthy, take a dip in some ice cold water and just really soak it in for a minute. It brings your soul to life. And we started fixing a few things on the truck. The wiper motor wasn't working, the horn, the brake pedal was sticking. So with the Jan man's diagnosis, we knew what to do and ordered the parts. I was so excited to start learning how to fix my machines.
Any flipper?
How many horns have you fixed in the past?
Just 2.
All right, I've got to be honest, this kind of sucks because it means that there are mice in here, but this might be the cutest thing I've ever seen.
What are you doing, bud? Are you okay?
So the whole world was on lockdown, but not much had changed for my daily routine. I was usually isolated in my office anyway, and only saw a select few people during the week. Given where we live, we aren't around people much, and we were all very cautious and staying healthy because of it. My mom made us masks for when we went out in public, but most of the time that wasn't spent isolated was spent in nature. And one day while I was at my parents', I decided I'd do something that's needed to be done for years. This piece of gardening fabric had been hanging in a tree near the chicken coop for the last 2 years.
How are you gonna get that down?
We're gonna climb it. It was a total eyesore and everyone knew it. You'd see it every day when you were there or when you drove by, and you just kind of accept it. Even though you knew it would be easy to take care of and would make a big difference once done. I think we all have these little things in our life that we see often and know we should take care of, but just keep ignoring. This spring, I've taken the time to address those little things, and it feels really cleansing and refreshing. It's an opportunity for a mini fresh start. Another example is I had a bunch of clutter build up under my coffee table in my apartment. It bummed me out every day when I saw it, but I never felt like dealing with it. Then finally one day I took the 10 minutes to clean it up. And now there's nowhere I can look in my apartment that doesn't make me smile. Take the time to do these little things and take care of your home. You'll never regret it. So the family couldn't go out to Sunday breakfast like usual, but we got out on a couple social distancing hikes. And one Sunday in particular, spring was really starting to show.
That's Liam's garden?
Oh, really? You smell the spring air?
My sister is a physician's assistant, and she was telling us all the details about what's really going on. I know some people are very deeply affected by the virus. I was feeling grateful to live in an area where there's not a lot of people. I'm lucky my life hasn't been affected in the way a lot of other people's has. I hope all of you are staying healthy out there as well. I've spent more time than ever with my family during 2020. I've learned to put time with them before anything else. It's the most important thing there is.
I see.
And that's the state game lands. But I thought to myself, geez, when you came over here and you broke down, I thought, why would I show this guy around the place and ride him around out there in the woods?
Right.
And I've talked to Carl Mackey on the phone a couple different times since returning from my road trip. Seems everyone from his area ended up seeing the video. Says he gets waves everywhere he goes now in his mighty F-150. I smiled so big when he told me that. I can't tell you the amount of messages and comments I got about that video. I'm so happy that the story resonated with people the way it did. It truly was life-changing for me in many different ways. And that entire video was shot on a whim on my iPhone. But I could feel the magic of what was happening all the way through. My creative chickadee was chirping nonstop. It's proof that gear simply does not matter. It's all about the basics first. Story is king.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Carl, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, all right, bye.
Bye.
And John stopped by the office a couple afternoons. We got creative and also had some beautiful little adventures. On one particular afternoon, he dropped by after the rain had stopped, and I was adamant that we go fishing even though the water was pretty high. So we tried for a while and had no luck. And the whole time, John kept saying, "I'm telling you, man, we should get the canoe and take it down the river. It's just high enough to get over the low spots."
Oh, sure. Remember when we set up that garage?
It was still kind of cold and I was chilled, but finally I said, what the hell.
We're not gonna be able to get down the trail on the next one.
When we were kids, we used to make rafts out of sticks and float down the river. We didn't have canoes of our own back then.
Here we go. This is gonna be sweet. Not on me.
We got nothing to cut this off. This is our baler.
We're gonna need that?
Do you have anything I can cut this with?
I don't.
Kyle, you're a spotter. You're like the dude up at the crow's nest.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'll just yell to you. But I'll be ready.
Dude, you gotta be tell me which side to go of these rocks. Like, which is
To
the
the-
deepest route? You're always looking for the deepest route. Left?
Left.
At the risk of flipping us, I just had to film this for the memories.
Oh, we got a tree. Now, trees are dangerous, bro.
Yes.
You gotta lay on your back. You have to go underneath it.
Okay.
But maintain control of the canoe.
Yep.
So we're gonna try to go left, obviously.
I'm so grateful for this river. There's no place on earth I'd rather spend my time. Being there with John, it really felt like the old days.
And the other bridge, but hey, let's just see this big great rock left, paddle up.
Being like more intense though. On the tubes. Whoa, there's a hatch going on.
Pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Him and I learned about life together. His mom babysat me from infancy. We spent all our time outside building forts, making up games. Once you get older, you lose that sense of imagination and that wonderment. That, what would happen if we... Because now you're an adult with responsibilities, and it's just much smarter to play it safe and be productive with your time. But these little adventures in the hills we grew up in bring that feeling right back. Because every yin needs a yang. Productivity needs play.
Yeah, nothing major.
And with the pandemic, the world slowed down. But with limitation comes opportunity. I was finally catching up to where I've always dreamed of being. Because when you go with the flow of the river, everything happens as it should.